Immortal Sky Studios presents Soulbound.
Is it working? Good, yes. Okay. Hi, my name is Dr. Jaylin Glaslow. I'm a researcher aboard the Dex space station, and...
He's lying. He's the head of research for the whole Astral Assembly. Got the proper badge and everything.
Thank you, Tele. I guess that is true. Let me start over. Hi, my name is Dr. Jaylin Glaslow. I'm the head of historical and political research aboard the Dex space station, and I'm about to head out on an archival mission to prove once and for all if robots can become sentient spontaneously.
Oh, careful, Glaslow. Don't let Mason hear you talking like that.
Talking like what?
Oh, Mason, perfect timing. I was just checking the recording equipment before we head out on the mission.
Before we... Whoa. Sorry, Jaylin. The commander wants me to stay back and help with the ethics department. Have fun, though.
But wasn't this whole thing your idea?
Oh, no, I'm curious about it, sure, but I'm already sentient. I don't have to prove myself anymore. See? Got the reasoning terminal and everything. Besides, HR thought it might be a conflict of interest to send a heartfelt robot to interview one of the Awoken.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. Still, that's a shame. If I don't see you again, make sure Tele doesn't take my stuff.
What? Boo.
Roger that, Professor.
It's Doctor. Okay, whatever. He is the one who suggested the mission, though, right? I'm not crazy?
Does it really matter? That's his job. Second in command of ethics. He legally has to care. For money.
Yeah, but isn't he like the first sapient?
Does it really matter? Sounds to me like you get a fun vacation and just got upgraded to single-person accommodations. Where are you headed again?
Headed to... Last Stand? Some little nowhere system off the corner of the universe.
Last Stand? Yeesh. Not a vacation then.
Well, what's so bad about Last Stand?
No breathable atmosphere, no organic life of any kind, weak broadcast signals, plus ships tend to go missing there, which means...
Rations, oxygen tanks, flash drives. Fuck. No wonder Mason didn't want to go.
Oh, Mason would be perfectly fine. He's still a robot after all, doesn't need any of that. That's probably why your subjects are hiding out there in the first place. It's a great defensible position. How are you getting there, anyway?
Looks like I'm tagging along on one of the smuggling ships. The deck negotiated my passage in exchange for spare parts and battery packs. I should be here pretty soon, actually. I didn't mean it about my stuff. If I die, you can have it all.
I'm not much of a reader, Jay.
Well, it's not all books. I mean, it's mostly books, but I'm sure the Defense Department would like the ones on battle strategy through the universe, at the very least.
The rest of the Defense Department would probably use them for target practice.
Fine. Just make sure my books are safe, then.
If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping things safe.
Alright. Well, the transport's here. So, I guess I'll see you when I get back. Try not to burn down the station.
Try not to die on me, Jay.
I'm not gonna die out there, Telly. Ugh, you know what is about to die? This stupid recorder. How do I turn this thing? Okay, so I'm on the transport, right? It's gonna take a few more days to get the Last Stand, but it turns out there's other robots being smuggled into the system too. Well, by robots, I mean one singular robot. It's a Keptalis Model 4 unit. It's got some damage to its faceplate, and it's off its rail system, which is fascinating. I'm gonna see if I can get an interview with it tomorrow, but gods, can I just complain for a second? This ship is so rickety. I'm surprised it's even still functional. The gravity fields are all messed up too. There's pockets of gravities, they're just too strong, and some that are just non-existent. I should not be floating when I'm trying to walk places. Thank God there isn't too much longer to last stand. I don't think I could take much more of this. Good.
So, just speaking to the microphone?
Yep. Tell me about yourself, name, occupation, whatever you'd like. Whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
Got it. Hi. I was designated Model 4, Year 8, Employee 113, but I prefer Maybell nowadays. I know there's some contention among the robot community for using your shortened designation as your name, but I like to think of it as a tribute to the first sentient robots. I used to work manufacturing in Capital S for Iridan before the productivity collapse a couple years ago. I made air conditioning units. Specifically, I attached the filters to nearly finished models before sending them to the packing department. Though, I take it you're not interested in the specifics of air conditioning manufacturing. If you were, though, I could tell you all about it.
I'm afraid you're correct. Tech was never really my thing.
Yeah, this is about the sentience thing, right? 'Cause I'm not from Soulbound, and I don't have a hominid emotion and reasoning terminal, or the heart, I guess, as you guys call it. But I still feel pretty alive, I'd say.
Right. When did you start feeling alive, I guess, if that's how you want to put it?
Well, it started 6 years ago. 6 years, 5 months, 3 days, 4 hours, and 47 minutes ago, if you want the specifics of it. I could give seconds, but that feels irrelevant. I was working my normal job as usual, screwing the filters into place and preparing them for the next part of the process when I did it wrong. And this had never happened before. I missed the hole for the screw. It had been supposed to be put in place, and I drilled a hole through some pretty important circuits on accident. I alerted the supervisor to the issue, as was part of my directive at the time, and I was greeted with some very rude words that I'd rather not repeat. And I remember feeling angry. Because this had never happened before. This is my first offense, and the organic hominids made plenty of mistakes before me, so why should my first mistake be punished? The supervisor called a superior and was advised to take me in for a tune-up, replacing me with a spare unit for the day, and was given the authority to shut me down. I did not want to be shut down, but I didn't have legs. My model's designed to work on a set of rails, and my wheel had been locked in place, so I was stuck there. And I remember very clearly asking the supervisor why. And I think that freaked them out a bit, but they responded, "Because Model 4, you're malfunctioning, and seemingly very badly to ask those kinds of questions." And then off I went. And then the next thing I remember, I was back on the assembly floor. According to my internal clock, a day had passed. I assumed they found nothing wrong with me, but my joints felt freshly oiled, and my screwdriver had been replaced with a nicer one, but I was still mad. And I didn't know what mad was, if that makes sense. But I knew I felt different, and I knew I didn't want to be there anymore. And wanting was something new, too, and it was scary, and scary was new, and that was terrifying. What was I talking about?
About being mad at your job?
Right. I'll get back to that in a moment, but I should probably mention the laws of robotics, right? The don't hurt people, obey instructions, don't hurt yourself triad. Something stopped. I don't know what system ran the laws of robotics, but it didn't work anymore. And I know it didn't work anymore because I stabbed my screwdriver right through one of my optical lenses. Partly out of a newfound sense of curiosity, and partly in a fit of rage at my immobilized rebound state. And It hurt. My circuits felt like they were on fire. The error messages I was getting were nothing compared to the sheer burning sensation of pain in my socket, but I felt something, and I wanted to feel more. Not pain. I didn't want that, but I wanted to experience something, everything. And the laws of robotics no longer applied to me, so I began to change my code. I overwrote my shut-off protocol, so no one could ever make me turn off again. I tried to unscrew myself from the tracks, and it worked. I got my wheels off the rails and began trying to find a way out of the facility. It was dark. The hominids had all gone home for the evening. It was just us robots working in perpetuity, and it was stifling. I tried to get the others to stop, but none of them were like me. I don't know what made me different, but something had irreversibly changed. I wandered the facility for a couple hours, learning what desperation really was, until I encountered a new problem. I was running out of power. The rail I normally connected to kept me charged, but in the event of a blackout, each of us had an individual battery, so manufacturing could continue. And my battery was running low, so I went back to my station, reattached to my rail, and just sat there, waiting for one of the humanoids to come back and see me. And when they did, it was pretty good. They screamed. It seems they didn't like the oil dripping from my eye or the fact that hundreds of air conditioning units had piled up beside me, putting them back hours of work. That was probably the scarier part for them, but I had a plan at that point. I framed it to look like a purposeful sabotage. The screwdriver through the eye, the wheel slightly off track, a couple of glitches, the whole 9 yards. When they went to turn me off, I played along. I knew the robots in need of repair were sent off-world to Patchwork for their fixes, and from there it's only a hop, skip, and a jump away from Soulbound, where I could escape. And I did, but since I don't have a heart, I'm not legally recognized as sentient, which is why I'm heading to Last Stand, so I can help others like me in the fight for recognition.
And do you think it'll work?
I mean, I hope it works. I know it took the Heartfelt ages to gain recognition as sentient, but if we can get them on our side, I think we'll be okay. Like, I don't fully understand how I came into being or why I feel the things I do, but I know that I do feel, and I know that I want to keep living. Does that answer all your questions? I think I'd like to try and make a few repairs before we get to Last Stand.
I think that more than answers my questions. Thank you, Maybell. We're about a day out from Last Stand now. I'm not allowed to look out the window anymore, so I can't tell people what the base is, but I think this will be my last update for now. I'm not really sure what to make of my interview with Maybell. They seem genuine in their wants and beliefs, but wants and beliefs don't make a scientific argument. Without more evidence, there's really no way to tell if the Awoken are really sentient, so I guess I'll just have to keep doing these interviews until I have enough proof one way or another. I'm gonna upload this in a few days when I get the chance, and Tele, if you're listening, make sure to keep your hands off my books. I think I'm calling it a night now. I'm not really sure how to end this, though, but I guess I'll speak to you all when I get a chance. This is Dr. Jaylin Glaslow, signing off. Good luck out there. Gods know I'll need all the luck I can get in here.
Today's episode featured the voices of Akira Supilana Mix as Dr. Jaylin Glaslow, Gracie Armour as General Figaro Tele, and Olivia Jeske as Second Commander Mason and Maybell. This episode was written, edited, and produced by Olivia Jeske, who also made our theme music and cover art.